This is Jonathan Ayoff here for Pro Boxing Fans. We're here at the Matchroom Gym in Essex for a media day for Joe Cordina, who faces Ogawa for the IBF Super Featherweight title Saturday, 4th of June in Cardiff. Tony, only a few days away now. How are you feeling?
Yeah, all good. The camp's gone well.
How long have you felt that Joe's been ready for this world title shot for?
Well, he's a very experienced amateur, as everyone knows. He's Olympian, and he's done everything domestically, like British Commonwealth. He won the British upper lightweight. So yeah, he's ready. He's ready to fight for the world title. You know, Ogawa's a really good fighter, though. He's been in with some really top positions. So you know, it's going to be a very hard fight, difficult fight.
In terms of what he does well, Ogawa in the ring, what have you noticed?
Well, he can punch with both hands. He's smart defensively. He's got good footwork, and he deserves to be an IBF champion. You know, he beat a good fighter in Fusili last time out, and he destroyed him actually. And so you know, he does everything good.
As a trainer, when you're training a fighter for a world title shot, does anything differ? Do you push them double hard, or is it the same sort of training?
No, it's the same training for any title fight, you know, you fight for. So obviously there's more pressure on their shoulders because it's like the ultimate goal that they've dreamt of when they was a young child. Going into boxing, every kid dreams of fighting for the world title and winning a world title. So, you know, it's a lot more pressure on the shoulders. But training-wise, you know, he trains the same for every fight, and he's dedicated his life to boxing. You know, he lives up here in Essex, away from his family, and you know, and that's what you got to do if you're going to be a world level fighter and a world champion. You got to dedicate yourself to the sport, and that's what he's done.
And in terms of sort of how the fight plays out, I'm not asking for a game plan or anything, but do you think this goes to the distance, or do you think Joe can win inside the distance?
Who knows with boxing? You never know to the night. It's like, you know, when you're both top world level fighters, like they both are, you know, it all comes down to the night and who performs the best, who feels the best on the night. And sometimes it comes into the last round or two, who captures the win. So, you know, Joe Cordina knows that Kenichi Ogawa is going to be an hard fight. He knows he's a top level fighter. Cordina's a top level fighter, so you know it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be an hard fight, you know, but hopefully we come victorious at the end of it.
Just want to touch on some of the other members of the stable. Conor Benn, what can you tell us? What's next for him?
Just waiting for a date off a Matchroom and an opponent, really. So I'm just waiting for that.
In terms of sort of the level Conor's at, he's sort of breezed past the last three opponents. You know, where do you sort of see him in terms of sort of that world level? Because when you look at the world level, there's not much of a sort of gap in between from the level he's fought at and the top guys, but he wants the top guys.
Yeah, he's at that level now where he's got to go into a difficult fight. You know, I read today that Virgil Ortiz is going to fight David Avanesyan for the final eliminator for the WBC title. Jaron Ennis has just won a final eliminator for the IBF title last week. So that leaves Conor Benn and Thurman really in the rankings. So maybe that'll be Conor's next fight. You know, I think they're 3 and 4 in the WBO, but with Ennis and Ortiz moved out of that, they'll be 1 and 2. So I would imagine that the WBO will probably make a final eliminator with them too. So, you know, that'll be more likely his next fight.
If it's not Thurman, there was talk of Jose Ramirez fight. I don't know what the situation is with that, but do you think that would have been or could be a good test for Conor?
Yeah, I read that Ramirez is fighting for the vacant WBA light welterweight title, so he's not up at welterweight. So I know there was rumours of that fight, but you know, we just got to concentrate on the welterweight scene. And as I say, like, you know, Conor Benn and Thurman are probably the next two to fight. I would have fought for an eliminator, probably be the WBO eliminator.
Felix Cash, spoke to him today. He's looking at Zerameta. The fight's obviously not official yet, but if that was to happen, do you think that just moves him towards that world level?
Yeah, I know that Matchroom was looking at that fight, so yeah, definitely. You know, he's ranked in all 4 bodies. and he's getting closer to that stage where he's going to fight an eliminator for the world title. He's been mandatory for the European for ages now, but Sigany's got a voluntary defence in June, so that means waiting till like maybe the winter to fight for that, which I don't think we're going to hang around that long for that. So we'll just probably get an international fight now, and then maybe push on to an eliminator in the autumn or winter.
And a fighter we haven't sort of seen for a while, Ted Cheeseman, involved in some great fights. Is he likely to return, do you think?
I don't know. I don't think so. He's not been in the gym since his last fight, so I know he's got a lot of outside interest, business interest that he tends to, and that keeps him busy. So, I left it in his court where he's only 26 or what he's going to do next, but I don't think he probably will fight again, no.
And how about Martin J. Ward?
Oh, he's retired, Martin, yeah.
Okay.
Martin's retired, yeah.
Tony, just a few other questions. Just announced the trilogy between Canelo and Gennady Golovkin. Your thoughts?
Yeah, good fight. I think that Canelo will probably come out victorious more widely this time. I feel like Triple G, if you look at his last fight, he's obviously 40 years of age now. He ain't the fighter that he once was. So I expect Canelo to come out victorious in that fight.
And we're awaiting an announcement on Anthony Joshua and Oleksandr Usyk. What does he have to do, AJ, to win the rematch, in your opinion?
Well, he's just got to take the blueprint from what Chisora done with Usyk. He's got to put him under pressure. Put his shots together and keep him backed up on the ropes. Because if you give Usyk any room, you see what he done last time. He just boxes so smartly, defensively he's good, so you've got to rough him up, use your weight advantage and do what Chisora done, really.
Is it sort of as simple as just going in there and looking for a knockout, or does he have to set his shots up and go about this quite smartly?
Yeah, of course he has, but he's got to be rough in there, do you know what I mean? He's got to pull him around a little bit and, rough him up and use his weight advantage, size advantage, and because you can't just stand off of him. He's just such a complete fighter, Usyk, that if you stand off of him, he'll just box your ears off.
And we heard that Deontay Wilder's announced he's coming back. Any fights you want to see him in personally?
Well, the Dillian White fight would be a good fight for him to come back with. I always think Dillian's in a great fight, and he's still a top-ranked contender. That sort of fight would be a great fight for him to come back on.
All right, Tony Sims, thanks for talking to pro boxing fans, and best of luck in Cardiff next Saturday.
Lovely, thanks very much. Thank you.